Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video on YouTube about tennis. As you notice, it's raining, so I'm a tennis coach, and I've never shared anything that I do. I've never shared anything that I teach on YouTube. I have a Instagram channel, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself more, because I know you're here for a different subject. But I'm going to tell you more about myself at the end of this video, not in the beginning. I can tell you all my accolades and everything I've done and all this and that. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to tell you the truth right now about tennis rackets. I'm sick and tired of people that are, I guess they're, how can I say it? You know, it's a touchy subject for me, guys, because it's all BS. I'm going to tell you right now, it's all BS. And a lot of you are going to disagree, and I invite you to go into the comments and let's have a discussion, not an argument, a discussion. And I know that it's more of an opinion, but yeah, it is. You know, when it comes down to it, rackets, they're all the same, okay? And I'm going to prove it to you in a minute here. And you're going to be like, what? Yeah, because I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm not hating of the people that are sponsored, but I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into the pros, professional tennis players. And I'm going to make you believe, hopefully, or at least make you think like, things that make you go, on the subject. So since it's raining, I got nothing to do. I love, breathe, eat, sleep, play tennis. I'm not only a tennis coach, but I still play tournaments. And I have a pretty good UTR. So anyways, and NTRP level, by the way. Excuse me. So anyways, let's get into it, guys. Tennis rackets. What do you hit it? What, you know, people are like, well, this racket just came out, and you know, we're gonna go hit with it, and Coach so and I are gonna hit with it. And I think you know who I'm talking about here. There's a popular channel. The guy's great, but he talks like this, and I'm like, get to the point, dude. I gotta fast forward, you know. And I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm kind of passionate, guys, because I'm tired of the BS. These people are sponsored, and they get rackets sent to them. Of course they're gonna say something nice about it, and they'll say a few negative things, but in reality, it's all the same. I'm gonna tell you why. So I've been playing tennis since 1977, when I was in middle school. Okay, I started with the wood rackets, and then I went up and played with aluminum, and then I went up and played with graphite. No, I'll strike that. Fiberglass, and then graphite, and then all these boron, and all these rackets, it was a frenzy on what can we make a tennis racket out of. And then they finally found, you know, modulus graphite, high modulus graphite, which is what's pretty much in a lot of these rackets. So I know each racket's gonna feel different, but I'm gonna tell you this, it's all the same. And here it is. The string pattern 16 by 19 is more open to give you more spin. 18 by 20, the string pattern in the center is closed more to give you more control. All rackets weigh around 10 ounces, the pro rackets. So they say they're pro, but the pros add, you know, they add weight to the handle. When it's all said and done, they're about 11 ounces to almost 12 ounces, the pros racket. But off the shelf, you know, before you tweak it, it's 10.4, 10.2. Once you put the strings on there, once you put the grip on there, it weighs 11.2, 11.6. 11.6 is the magic number. Okay, so get this. I can buy a Babolat racket or a Wilson racket and look at it, and the string pattern will be 16 by 19. And the grip will be the same. You know, grip is always going to be the same. It's, you know, 4 1/4, 4 3/8, 4 1/2, whatever. But the length's always going to be 27 inches for a standard racket for adults. So the string pattern is going to be the same. The length is going to be the same. The grip is going to be whatever I want. So what's different about the racket? Well, one is head light and one is head heavy. Okay. One's head light, one's head heavy. It might be lighter in the head or heavier in the head, depending what you want. If you're a weaker player, you want a heavier head racket. If you're a stronger player, you might want to get something that's even balanced or maybe a little head light but heavy. And if it's too much head light, you can put some weight on the head and, make it feel. So my point is this. All these rackets that they're play testing and checking out, and do you hit the racket? I'm sorry. Do you hit the ball with the racket? No. Or the frame? No. You hit it with the strings, dudes. My dudes and dudettes, you hit it with the strings. What? Yeah, you hit it with the strings. So what's more important, the strings or the racket? Well, if I have a racket from 1982, 1990, it's 10.4. It's 4 points head light. It's a 4 3/8 grip. It's a 16x19 pattern. Isn't that the same as buying the brand new Babolat or Radical or Wilson or whatever you want to call it, if it has the same specs? And I know what you tennis enthusiasts are going to say. Well, it's not made from the same material. Yeah, you go ahead and believe that. I understand that they braid this and they braided that, and they did, the Sampras racket was braided with Kevlar, and it has more feel and this and that. Yeah, I get that. How do you tune that, people? I'm going to pause. How do you tune that? Oh, the strings. Yeah. So if you're not getting enough feel or enough touch or enough power or enough control, I can go on and on. Excuse me. Well, heck, can't you just play with the strings? I want more spin. We'll get a thinner gauge. I want more control. Tighter string pattern, 18x20. Maybe you want poly strings. Maybe you want a hybrid. Maybe that hybrid's the best of both worlds. Maybe you want just pure up power. Then do all poly. But my point is this. You're hitting the ball with the strings, not the racket. So you guys that have to have a brand new racket and, this review came out, Babolat came out with a new racket, Wilson came out with a new blade. The only difference, bros, is the color scheme. The color scheme. Would you go and buy a truck? I'm in my Ford F-150. And guess what? This truck has a 4.6 motor. Okay? The same motor that the Mustang has. Except that, it's got a sports package and this. And you car guys are going to go, it's not the same motor. Well, it's a 4.6 liter. Same thing. 302, whatever. 350 is a 350, whatever. Would you go and buy a 2023 truck that has the same motor from 2007, a 4.6? No. You wouldn't. You wouldn't pay $40,000 when you can get the same motor by buying a 2007 that has low mileage, right? My point is this. The analogy is this. If it's the same motor, right? Well, all you're paying for is the bells and whistles inside the truck. You're paying. Maybe it has a turbo in it and stuff. Some of them have twin turbos. I get it. Yeah, at least you're getting an upgrade. But what are you getting from the tennis rackets? Nothing. It's still high modulus graphite or graphite. It's braided with something that they say is proprietary to them, and it makes their racket feel a certain way. Well, what if I use my strings and I like hybrid at a certain tension? No matter what racket I play with, it's going to feel the same because it's a 10-4 in weight, 4 points head light or even balance. 27 inch. You see where I'm going with this. 100-inch head, 98-inch head, 95-inch head. So whatever you want, you can get. It's all a scam. You're buying these rackets and it's a scam. Don't believe the hype. What I do, I wait till the new rackets come out, and then I go and check the demos, slightly gently used, and I buy them at half off, $70, $100. I mean, some of them are more than half off because now they're $279. These rackets are insane. It used to be standard $179 with tax and strings. Came out to $200. Now it's $219. to 279. Now you're talking 300 when you put strings, 350. That's crazy. And I need 2 sticks because, you know, I'm a tournament player. At least 2 sticks in case one racket breaks. So there you go. $700, $600 for new sticks. When you got the same stick in your bag right now, play around with the strings is the moral of this story, guys. Play around with the strings. Looser tension, higher tension. The pros are playing in the 40s in poly. All you guys are out there, and this is the part where I tell you who I am. So I'm a tennis instructor. I've been teaching since 2005. I've taught numerous students. I don't care if you go to my page or not. I don't care if you follow me or not, but you can look at it if you want. It's Trevi Tennis. Instagram, Trevi Tennis. And you can see all my kids that play from all the years before. I've made them super champs, and I've made them UTR 8s and UTR 9s. I've had UTR 10s. I've got kids that I've taught that are now teaching at academies. Okay? And I hold the record in Texas. And it's when I was a lower player. I'm scratching my head because I'm embarrassed. Oh my God. I was a 3.5. I know. It's nothing. But I was number 1 in the state of Texas in singles and doubles with the most wins. No one's ever done that again or before. Not in USTA. Look it up. Go ahead. I dare USTA to prove me wrong. Singles and doubles. I'm the only guy that did it. I know I tried to do it in 4.0, but I started getting older. I'm 56. I still was in the top 10 in open. The open level in my late 40s. And I still play UTR right now. I'm a 6 singles UTR. Oh, well, that's low. You know what? You be 56 years old and tell me what your UTR is. Okay? I'm playing Division 3 level tennis, you know, in my 50s. Come on. I've beaten Division 2 guys. My highest UTR that I've beaten is a 12. I took him 3 sets and I beat him in the 3rd set tiebreaker. So that's a little bit about who I am. But the thing is this. I know what I'm talking about. And I encourage you to have a conversation with me in the comments below and tell me I'm wrong. You know, and it's okay. It's just an opinion. We're going to have a conversation. I might be wrong. Give me some knowledge. You know, teach an old dog new tricks. But this is what I know. If you're good, you can play with any stick. Okay? You can play with any racket. You can adjust to it. And if it's too light, then you get strings that are going to give you more power. If it's too heavy, you know, you can get something with more control. I mean, you can tweak the strings to fit your liking. But me, myself, I played tournaments where my primary racket busted the strings. It was in Texas. It was hot. My secondary backup racket busted the strings as well. I busted them. I had no racket. Some guy was walking by. I said, anybody got a racket? I busted my backup racket. He says, what do you play with? I said, Babolat. He goes, yeah, I got a Babolat. Okay. He lent it to me. His strings were way loose. I still won. I adjusted to the racket. You see? If you're a good enough player, now that's why I'm going to talk about the professional tennis players. So the pros that are playing right now, you're like, well, they play with just this stick and they got the newer model. Everybody knows, all of us old tennis players know that those are just painted. They're the old sticks that they've had since the 80s and 90s. They love the feel of the stick so much because it weighs the same, looks the same, everything's the same. They don't want to switch, but they got to sell a product. So they paint their old stick like the new paint scheme, and there you go. You idiots are out there buying the new rackets for $300. They're not even using the rackets, you know? And you're like, well, how come so-and-so never changed? Well, look, Verdasco. I saw Fernando Verdasco play here in Dallas recently. He's not doing so hot. He's injured, But he started off with some vocal, I think, and then he went to Babolat, then he went to Head, you know, and he's you know, moved around. He's always been in the top, you know, 200 in the world. They adjust. What is he getting? Well, I need a racket that's 10-4, 4 points headlight, 16 by 19 pattern, 27 inch, and I'll endorse it. I mean, I'll play with it if you endorse me. You see, even the pros, they know the stick doesn't matter. What really matters is the strings. You got a general setup that you like. And once you find out what setup you like, some people like 9-ounce rackets. That's a little too light for me. But some people like 9.9-ounce rackets. When you put the strings and grip and the dampener and everything, it's like 10-4. You know? So do not pay too much attention to the racket itself, guys. All these reviews that they do and talk about and all these views you're giving them, it's BS. All you're paying for is the paint scheme. Would you buy a new car, 10 years later, knowing that the car you have at home, say you got a Kia 2016, you buy a 2026, and they got the same motor. All you're paying for is the color and maybe some new inside upholstery, but it's the same motor. Are you going to pay 4 or 5 times more than that for that? It's the same motor, same transmission. No, you wouldn't. But that's what you're doing with the Rackets. Stop doing it, guys. Go to the old sticks. Go buy some other ones. Recycle them. I go to Goodwills. I go to houses that have, garage sales. And they're like, oh, that Racket's no good. The strings are busted. Really? This blade is no good? And I'll tell them, this is worth a lot of money. And they're like, oh, we don't play anymore. We don't care. Just give us $5. I'm like, okay. And then I sell it on eBay. Or I sell it to my students at a real good discounted price. And so that's the moral of the story there, guys. Don't fall into the trap. This is my first video. Please follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm going to start growing this channel. I need your help. It starts with you. Just subscribe, give me some airtime, and I'll be making more videos like this, talking about stuff, talking about USTA, talking about UTRs, and how USTA got ruined by UTR, and how UTR makes no sense sometimes, and how we used to have super champs and champs. It's going to be a great channel. It's just that I never like to talk about my tennis because I have people in the surrounding area where I live that once they see me teach or play and I'm kind of like out of the box the way I teach, they're like, I've never done that before. I'm very big on serves and returns. Very big on it. If you can't serve, you're going to be double faulting, you're going to lose. If you can't return and capitalize on that second serve, you're going to lose. So lo and behold, all the coaches around me start serving and returning where they never did before. They were just very instructional. Your forehand, bend your knees, hit in front, backhand, whatever. Please follow, like, and subscribe. We're going to talk about all those things. I'm going to share my secrets to success for junior players and adults as well. And it's going to be a great channel. Thanks for tuning in and stopping by. And see you in the next video. Thank you.